Humans have great difficulty understanding another species, especially when it's a non-domesticated species. For example, the guide even talks about the guide for care and use of laboratory animals. Are you an animal scientist, by the way? Do you know what the guide for the care and use of laboratory animals is? Okay, okay. The guide for the care and use of laboratory animals talks about need for social contact in animals, especially for things like dogs. And it said if another dog's not available, then human contact will work as well. Not for a wild animal. Human contact is absolutely the worst thing that you could do. The more you can minimize contact with these wild animals, the less stress you're inducing. Wild animals are that much opposite. I mean, totally and completely opposite direction. Our greatest difficulty, I think, is trying to see the animal and the animal's environment through the eyes of the animal. That's where we have difficulty. One of the little projects that I do in some of my classes is I take students out. We capture mice in the afternoon, and I drop these mice, these different species of mice, all captured in the same area. I drop each one of them into a bag of fluorescent powder and shake it up and turn it loose. Fluorescent orange, fluorescent green, fluorescent pink, and the animal just runs off. And then we go back and sit around and have dinner. 2 hours later, I bring the students back out to where we turn those animals loose with black lights. And they have to track each of these animals, sometimes down on hands and knees, tracking these animals. But if you capture 3 different species in exactly the same general area, certainly an area small as the size of this room, you can capture 3 different species. If you follow the trails, those 3 species are using the same habitat in completely different ways. That drives home to the students the point that what we see as a type of habitat is completely different from what the animal sees as that same type of habitat. The animal sees its habitat in a manner that is adaptive for that species. When we're working with wild animals, we need to learn to try to think outside the box, to use an expression that's way overused, but to try to see the animal use from the perspective of a wild animal, not a domesticated species.